All right, here we go. Question number 18 from our 13-16 homework number 7 in MyLab Math. They want us to identify and graph the polar equation. This is r equals 9 cosine 2 theta. If we come over here to our polar curves, we can see that roses are in the form of r equals a, either sine or cosine of n times theta. So that's what this equation is that they've given us. It's in the form of r equals a cosine of n times theta. And so we know that this is going to be a rose. Does it tell me how many petals it has? N leafed if n is odd, and twice as many leaves if n is even. So our n is even, so there should be twice as many petals. 2 times 2 is 4, so this is going to be like a 4-petal flower, a 4-petal rose. And let's go to Desmos and check that. So I've already input the equation here. If I turn it on, you can see that it is going to have 4 petals. And notice that the A is the length of the petal. From the origin out is 9. That's the length of the petal. And just for fun, what I would like to do is show you what happens to it if it's sine instead of cosine. And then what happens if the n is odd instead of even. So let's change this to sine. Notice that it is still 4 petals, but sine changes the orientation. Notice it rotates it 45 degrees. And then if n is odd, then that number is the number of petals. So 3 petals or 5 petals. If n is odd, that's how many petals you get. If n is even, 4 times 2 is 8, you get twice as many petals. And again, if it's sine or cosine, the only thing that changes is the orientation of the flower, of the rose. All right, so we have r equals 4 cosine 2 theta. That was the original problem. 4 petals. It is a rose with 4 petals. And let's see here. And it's going to want me to pick the appropriate graph. Well, that's easy. There it is. Rose with 4 petals. And that's it for that question. Man, I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave those in the comment section below, or you can text me. And thanks for watching.